I don't know about you, but I'm pumped. I mean, that music, you cannot be not pumped with that kind of music. So it's a wonderful way to transition into the most pumped up piece of today and TechChill, which is the finals of the pitching competition. Now, there are three things that we need to make this work. We need some wonderful startups, and we have them. And they have the most difficult task in the room. Because, I mean, first and foremost, when you pitch, you're struck with the curse of knowledge. You know so much about your startup that nobody else in this room does. And it's the most difficult thing because you can't forget what you know. And so if you don't have a fucking clue what they're talking about, that's not because they don't know what they're talking about. That's because they have the curse of knowledge. So they have a really tough job. So let's give it up for all the startups in the room. Now, the second part that is very, very important is the jury. And they have the easiest job in the world because they're all the nicest people in the world. And this is their one chance in the year to be an asshole and to ask the most asshole questions that they can come up with. Because that's how they challenge the startups, and it's a wonderful thing for them to do. But we've got a wonderful jury, and so I'll just ask them to stand up so you know how to find them afterwards and thank for their questions. So first, Marilee from Karma Ventures. Karma Ventures, based in Estonia. I think they're fond of paradoxes because they fund tech, science, and all very smart things, and they're called Karma. So it's you really need to look under the name to know that these are people that will not just invest in astrology. They have very strong investment thesis. Second, I'd like to welcome Kyron from Seed Camp, based in London. Started as an accelerator, then they realized, okay, we need to back these companies. They've been able to support them in ever-increasing scale. I would then love to say hi to Arvydas from Practica Capital. Based in Lithuania, they're extremely proud of their recent unicorns, Vinted. They call it in vintage marketplace. It's basically a place for secondhand clothing. So if you've got any, give that to Arvydas. He'll know what to do with it. So welcome, guest from Lithuania. It's wonderful to have Mike Butcher here. I was thinking, should I say he's an editor-at-large at TechCrunch? But he is TechCrunch. Mike Butcher. He's also the patron saint of TechChill. So wonderful to have you back again. And the chair of the jury, our own local Andris Berziņš, who many of you know. The Practica guys were very happy to see the size of his office as I was giving them a tour around the office. They operate across Latvia and Estonia, so a wonderful distributed team. So that's the jury. Again, a big hand to the jury. They'll be having some tough decisions to make. I said there are three things that are important: the startups, the jury. The most important, folks, are you. You are the ones giving energy to the startups. So as they come, they're going to be pitching for the time allocated to them, after which we're going to have 2 or 3 questions from the jury, and we'll go to the next startup. And you are responsible for the energy that they feel. Pump them up. So let's show our best ovation as a room. Applaud for yourself. Wonderful. With that in mind, I would love to welcome to the stage the first startup of the day, operating in the B2B. They won the B2B competition yesterday. It's Adact from Estonia.
Thank you. Thank you. It's amazing to be here. My name is Caleb, and I'm the founder of Adact. Now, more than 4 years, I've been working with gamification strategies for companies like Volkswagen, Verizon, Caesars Casino. And recently, an Estonian brand approached me Can I have the clicker, please? It's very helpful to have one. Thank you so much. And recently, an Estonian brand approached me because they wanted a simple scratch and win card lottery. Now, it's nothing too fancy, but it still costs around 5,000 euros to make. It takes around 6 to 10 people and more than a month to work. They wanted it because their competitor had it, and it was a huge success. Now, but I've done this before. The same exact campaign, just with different visuals. So why would I need to do the same thing again and again and again? So I didn't. Instead, we did Adact. Adact is a platform where brands and marketing agencies can create game-based lead generation campaigns without writing a single line of code. And we've tested our platform. It takes less than a day, just 1 to 2 people, and 15% of the budget. Now, why would anyone care? Well, let me tell you. They're around 16 times more effective with their engagement length, which translates into brand awareness, translates into higher lead generation and higher conversion. These are actual numbers from a campaign that we have launched. Now, of course, we're happy to have competitors. In fact, 2 major ones have been in operation for slightly more than 2 years, and they're worth well more than 150 million euros now. But we are excited to be different. Because when we say not a single line of code, we actually mean it, not a single line of JavaScript or CSS or HTML, while still enabling a unique campaign every single time. So the $11 billion market is growing at a faster rate than most other trending markets, with a 36.2% annual growth rate. And we have taken a part of it already in just 3.5 months in operation, proving that we can sell, and now already have more than 5,000 euros worth of MRR customers, clients in our pipeline. Who are we? It's me and my technical co-founder, Jaak. And we also have 2 key employees, and together we cover design, development, marketing, and sales, everything required for a strong team. We are raising 200,000 euros to expand over Europe, starting from Stockholm and Helsinki, and going from there towards Poland. So thank you. My name is Caleb, and I'm the founder of Adact.
Well done. Say on. Wonderful. Any questions for Adact? Marley.
Hello, thank you for the presentation. And first of all, we are not assholes. We are investors. We are your partners, future partners.
I love all of you.
My question would be like, assuming there's a lot of competition out there, how do you actually package your message, and how do you reach your potential customers?
Thank you. One thing that we hear from our customers is it's very easy to buy something that you understand. Now, a lot of our competitors, they're amazing products, but they take some time to explain how to actually create those campaigns because they have a lot of functionalities. Now, our customers tell us that from the first sight, they actually understand what we're all about, and they're already trying to create a campaign on the first meeting.
Mike?
Hi, Mike Butcher. Unfortunately, I am an arsehole. I'm afraid this is just not original. Prove to me it's original.
Thank you. So, let me put it this way. There are 3 major players in this field who have created an automated, specifically game-based lead generation tools. They've been in operation for a little more than 2 years. Now, game-based lead generation and marketing didn't really become popular since 2016, 2017, and now we see companies actually asking for us from them. But they still cost a lot of money. Now, our originality comes from when's the last time you actually played a campaign that is game-like? Not just a trivia, but actually game-like. So it's not only we that are original, we enable our clients to be original as well.
We've got one more question. Kyron?
Thanks, Caleb. So in terms of the business model, how are you getting recurring revenue, or it's kind of one-off? How does that work?
Our business model is purely SaaS. We have monthly subscription model. Of course, we also have, if you subscribe for a whole year, you get a discount. So yeah, that's that.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Adact.
Thank you.
I haven't seen a room this pumped in Latvia, full stop. Raise your hands if you'd invest in Adact. Good, okay, we've got some candidates, wonderful. That's a wonderful gauge for the pitch, and we'll be using that again. And as the next person on the stage in the B2C category, just one letter different, but what a difference it makes. We have Hugo Legal from Estonia.
Each and every one of us has at least one friend who can't afford legal services due to the high price, and therefore their rights are not protected enough. We can help them, all of them. Good evening, TechChill. My name is Artur, and I'm the founder of Hugo Legal. The legal industry is huge and it's growing, but the delivery of legal services has been quite the same over the past decades. This is one of the reasons why most people can't afford traditional law firms. And yet, there are a great number of highly qualified lawyers on the market, but they're not efficient enough at acquiring a new customer, dealing with downtime, at marketing, PR, billing, customer support, and so forth. So we integrated all the infrastructure a lawyer needs with the matchmaking marketplace to provide an end-to-end system for sole practitioners and law boutiques. With Hugo, lawyers can concentrate only on the very essence of their work, and they can do that at a time and manner that they prefer and in the legal field that they choose. Everything else is dealt by the platform. Hugo connects consumers, small and medium-sized businesses with the right legal expert quickly, easily, and cost-effectively. An Uber for legal services. So far, we have successfully matched over 25,000 clients with lawyers, making us the largest legal service platform in Estonia. As a pilot project, we built Estonia's first robot lawyer. This chatbot was very successful in generating leads on the marketplace, and it has saved our clients nearly 500,000 euros in total without any human intervention. We bill lawyers according to revenue with management fee. Our last year's GMV was 1 million euros, and over the next years, we're planning to triple it annually. For now, our main focus is to develop a scalable, SaaS-enabled marketplace and collect data as phase one. But our vision is to develop a universal robot lawyer so that most cases could be solved by a robot lawyer and more complex ones would be matched with a real lawyer by AI. Hugo's founders have profound experience in technology, in legal, in business, and in marketing for more than 10 years. We have an amazing team, consists of 14 members in 4 different nationalities, all fully committed to revolutionize the legal industry. And we're raising 1 million euros as a seed investment, and we're 200K short. This is for finance the expansion to Poland and Spain. They are the largest markets in EU that has the highest number of lawyers per capita. Our mission is to make access to justice possible. My name is Artur, and we are Hugo Legal. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Artur. Questions for Hugo Legal?
Yeah, so thanks very much. How do you prevent leakage from the marketplace, so people who have found a lawyer going off and repeat buying outside the marketplace?
Yeah, thank you. This for sure might happen, and it actually has happened with us once. And what we do then, we always communicate to the lawyers that if you take the client outside of the marketplace, then we will not match you new clients. So you can use the infrastructure for your own clients, but Hugo will not bring you new clients in if you take them outside of the marketplace. But this is definitely an issue that we need to solve and further on to make more functional, that they don't go outside.
Got any further questions? Mike?
Hello.
Hey,
How are you?
good. I saw you on Web Summit. You're dancing. It's nice.
Fantastic. Thank you. I saw you.
Yeah.
How's it going? What I want to know more about this at making justice possible, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about, what are you doing that's good for society? No pressure.
Yeah, no, there's no pressure. So what we are mainly focusing is that 80%, if you look at the global statistics, 80% of population can't afford legal services. And so, when you look at the other hand, there are lots of lawyers on the market, but only a fraction of them work in a big law firm. Like almost 90% work as a sole practitioner law boutiques. So if we would give them the big law infrastructure, they can be actually much more efficient, and then we can lower down the end price so that more people can afford legal services.
So do you see more legal firm startups coming as a result of this platform?
We see that more people can have access to lawyers because as we have over 27,000 cases in Estonia. What we see there is that most people, their problems are not very overcomplicated. They need simple advice, but they don't even get the simple advice. So that's if you can just have them this access to justice,
Okay.
then yeah. Sorry.
Thank you. You're a good man. You're going to heaven. Well done.
Applause for Artur. Thank you very much, Hugo. Now, in this next category, if you look around, what do you see? It's all green. This is the greenest TechChill has ever been. And clearly, the lights and the stage presence is not the only thing that's very much in the vibe when it comes to green. Green tech is seeing quite a lot of activity. So I'm very delighted to have Woola, and this is a trend from Estonia, present in the green tech category. Give it up for Woola.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna-Liisa and I'm from Estonia. It's one of the smallest countries in Europe. We only have 1.3 million people, but still we throw away 8,000 kilometers of bubble wrap every year because of e-commerce. And this is only Estonia. There are 2 billion digital buyers globally. We're currently using materials like styrofoam and plastic bubble wrap to protect parcels during transportation, because these materials are cheap and lightweight. But 96% of this ends up in a landfill where it never degrades. So our solution is producing bubble wrap that's made out of sheep wool to reduce this e-commerce waste. So sheep wool is currently an unused resource. Majority of it is just thrown away across Europe. In Estonia, 90% of sheep wool is thrown away. That's 150 tons every year. So we are taking this waste and we are giving it a new life. Our product is compostable at home. It's also shockproof as well as temperature and humidity resistant. So it's perfect for transporting cosmetics, which is one of the largest portions of all e-commerce parcels. We are using automated production to keep our costs low and to produce in large quantities. So even with the wool waste available in Estonia alone, we are able to produce 1.1 million parcel fillers every year, with the production costs of 12 cents per parcel, and to sell it at 90 cents per parcel. Our product is ready, and we are currently piloting it with the market-leading postal carrier here in the Baltics. Even if we reach a humble 10% market share in Estonia, we will be eliminating 64 kilometers of plastic bubble wrap from going into circulation every month. The global e-commerce market is growing at a 20% year-on-year growth rate. Sales hit 3.5 trillion last year, and consumers are demanding sustainability. So while the potential for making a profit has been in e-commerce for a while, the potential for making an impact is also there now. And this is what we have experienced as a team as well. We won the Climathon Global Awards last month, and we are very excited to bring the sustainability into e-commerce. I am lucky enough to work with one of the best designers and operation specialists out there. Our team has experience in startups, finance, and textile design, and we are raising a seed round to make our product available across Europe. And this is what the product itself looks like. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we give this to the jury to
Sure.
feel, to inspect the quality of Woola?
Yeah, this has been to many conferences, so it's a bit worn out, but you can see the quality.
Very good. I'm not sure it'll last another conference after passing through these very diligent inspectors of products. But questions for Woola?
Hey, thank you for this. So it's clearly like impact that you're trying to actually make. How do you track the impact? I understand that your product can actually reduce, kilometers of, let's say, waste currently used, but how do you track it and how do you make sure that it's just not adding still something but not replacing the current methods?
Yeah, so we're targeting cosmetic parcels right now, and on average, one cosmetic parcel uses 1.2 meters of bubble wrap. So when our product is used, instead of using regular bubble wrap, then we know that because of our impact, 1.2 meters of bubble wrap is out of circulation. So we are using these metrics right now.
Yeah, so you mentioned you were piloting with with Omniva,
Yes.
with a logistics company, which seems a little confusing to me, because I would assume that the company that's your customer is actually the company that's shipping the product, because they need to put it in when they close the package. So can you explain who you actually need to sell to, how you get to them, and what Omniva has to do with it?
Yeah, we have a few small pilots going on right now, and we're also piloting with one online store that sells the bubble wrap to their end customers. But what we're doing with Omniva is that we started cooperating with them from day one. This whole idea came from a problem that they had. They gave us this problem that their own customers, since they also resell bubble wrap, their own customers don't want regular bubble wrap anymore because it's not sustainable. So we developed the first prototype, we gave it to them, they gave us feedback according to what they need in a product, we reiterated, and we've been in this loop with them for about 2 months now. So this is our third prototype, and our fourth prototype is coming out next month, and we are shipping 50 packages out with Omniva with that product then.
Great. Final question from Karen.
What's the kind of biggest resistance you're getting from some of your customers and prospective customers to moving towards this sheep wool?
So one of the first things that many people, mainly millennials, ask if it's cruelty-free, and I'm glad to say yes, because sheep need to be sheared every year. There's no other way around it, because if you keep the wool on the sheep, then the sheep will have health problems. So that's one of the questions I have to answer often. And then people also ask us about the price, because this is obviously a premium product, but we've been in this, let's say, packaging industry and sustainable packaging industry for a while, and we also have had our own e-commerce stores. So from the tests that we have done with end customers, we know that there is actually much more room for margin than people think. So that's how we're kind of mitigating that.
Great. Thank you, Woola.
Thanks.
Yeah. And now we are moving on to medtech, and I'm very sorry I don't have any bad jokes about medtech. It's just a very cool thing. But we have a startup with a team across Hong Kong and Latvia with an appropriately medtech-y complex name, Longenesis. Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is thrilling to be here on home turf. My name is Sergey, and I'm a co-founder of Longenesis, a company that has the mission of unlocking personalized clinical data to empower faster patient recruitment and faster drug discovery. Now, here's a bombshell. Now, all of you people in the room were once sold as anonymized data items by your hospitals to pharmaceutical companies, and I guarantee that. And there is a market for that. It's 60 billion for anonymized data sales every year. Now, what happens if you make this data personalized? It's suddenly 250 billion, but it's still not that legal across the world. Now, there are 4 problems with that, right? So how do you trace data? How do you transfer it? How do you record patient consent, your consent, to be shared with third parties? And how do you evaluate it? Like, how much is the medical data worth? We don't know it still. Now, this is what we've built, and this is what we have been piloting with pharmaceutical companies worldwide. Longenesis Proteus is our central product, which aggregates metadata in an anonymized format from the hospitals we are working with in order to safely showcase it to pharmaceutical companies. Now what happens next is pharmaceutical companies are able to query the data directly within our framework and our dashboard and to request it directly from hospitals that are now able to monetize and turn their data into liquid assets. Having our tools for consent management and patient tracking in place. So it's legal and it's perfectly compliant. Now we charge both ways. We charge pharma for access and we charge commissions and SaaS approach for consent management from hospitals. So we're earning double on every transaction that is happening between hospitals and pharmaceutical companies. Now, everyone asks me how much is the data worth. Let's take a hypothetical cohort, 100 type 1 diabetes patients. Anonymized data set like this would cost $6,000. Now, de-anonymized, personalized, consented data set like this would cost around $100,000 if sold to a major pharmaceutical company, simply because of the access to patients, and we have proven it. Now, we've been all around the world with our products. We started off in Europe, here in Latvia, by the way, as well. Asia, Middle East. We're one of the technology providers for the National Genome Incentive in UAE right now. And we've been in US, deploying in US as well. We're raising a round. It's $1.5 million. We have been self-funded so far entirely. And it's basically for expansion and growing our team and development resource. Now, whenever we talk about the team, ours is alarmingly exquisite. We score more than 100 years of experience in the relevant industry. And whenever you want to think of well-diversified team of 10 people, sometimes 13, depending on the project, that is able to change the industry, please think of us. Thank you very much, and I'll be happy to hear your questions.
Give it up for Longenesis. A lot to dig in there. Questions?
Thank you again. How scalable is the platform and your revenue that you've actually acquired up to date? Of this, how much is recurring and how much non-recurring?
So, good question. All of our revenue is recurring, pretty much. Both that comes from the pharma side and the one that comes from the hospital side. Frankly speaking, because hospitals can reuse their data, so they can actually sell it, 10 times, 12 times, whatever, depending on the composition of the data set. Pharma is paying us on the recurring basis for the access into the dashboard to query the data through. Hospitals are paying us not only the commissions from selling the data, which is typically around 15% our cut, but also for consent management. And consent management is something that happens in all of the hospitals every day, with thousands of patients. So it's all recurring, pretty much. We are currently pre-booked with revenue of $250,000 right now, standing here in the end of February. And we hope to close this year with 1.3, 1.5 million in revenues.
But still about the scalability, like how hard is it to work with hospitals and the data? How
effortless. Effortless. So what we do is we approach the hospitals. We don't just harvest random data, right? So we don't care about people with headaches or something. So we know top categories of expenses for pharma. So we take the anonymized metadata metrics. We just ask for stock inventory from the hospital. So how many patients do they have with this disease? And this is all we need to start working with pharmaceutical companies and feeding them in. Once pharma actually sees something interesting, they would request it straight away from the hospital, and the hospital would provide the data set of their interest in more detailed manner. So in order to onboard one hospital, it's 1 week.
Great. I see Mike Butcher smiling.
Yeah.
That means something.
I mean, come on, man. Where's TechCrunch on this slide? What's going on here?
It's somewhere, you can pick a spot. It's either here or...
What am I?
Or you might pick that one.
I mean, what am I? Chop liver? I mean, come on. You're never cool. You're never right. Okay, serious question. How are you going to take over the US with this product?
US is very easy, right? US is much easier than Europe.
So glad to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, US is much easier than Europe. Europe has this, well, strange and frightening combination of letters, which is called GDPR, right? And as opposed to the combination of letters that the US has, which is HIPAA, GDPR is much more strict, right? So it is actually much easier to work with clinical data in US and record consent. We already have clients from there. We actually work with Nebula Genomics, maybe you know them, co-founded by sort of the Harvard superstar George Church in genetics. And you know, US is much easier than Europe to work with.
There's another country that's it's not in Europe and it's not in the US. It's called United Kingdom. Have you heard of it? Do you think you might be able to go there? It's a bit like Westeros or.
We're actually,
somewhere.
so when it comes to Westeros, we actually started already, we haven't signed them yet, so you know, I cannot claim that. But we started to talk with the National Biobank of UK, because UK is very good at, you know, collecting genomes from people, for some reason, I don't know why. They have a covered plan for that, most probably. But so we started to talk to them in order to provide Longenesis as the consent management solution. So, you know, we're working on that.
Great.
Great. Applause for Longenesis.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Mike, for providing some much-needed PR for the UK. In the region, Blackadder has been very popular, so we know exactly what it's like over there. So, so thank you. Now, for the final category, and I'm sure it's going to be a blast, because when you ask them where you're from, their answer is it's complicated. I don't know why Lithuanian founders always have to make it complicated, but we're moving on to fintech and Evo Estate.
Hi, my name is Gostas. I'm CEO of Evo Estate. We are a real estate investments aggregator. 500 real estate investments. That's the number I and my co-founder Audrius have made in the last 6 years using crowdfunding. Until one day, I get a call from Audrius, who says, listen, Gustas, we are not earning as much as we could just because many platforms restrict foreigners to invest. And multiple account management across few platforms can be really time-consuming. And this was the time when we decided to create Evo Estate. Evo Estate is real estate investments aggregator, where with one account, you can invest in 18 platforms deal flow. Our clients have already invested in 11 countries, diversifying their portfolios with rent, loan, and equity investments. The aggregator model for real estate remains unique, and we make money charging 2% to the deal originator, while our service for the clients, investors, remain completely free. The market that we are in is currently valued at 3 billion euros, and it's growing at a rapid pace of 50% year over year. And we know how to capture this market. We have already exceeded over 1 million euros in total platform investments. Last month, we recorded close to 50% month-over-month growth. And where it gets really interesting is that we are still not doing almost any paid marketing. And this is where our clients come from. Over 50 countries. And you may wonder, how two guys from Lithuania can capture 50 countries without spending any marketing? Well, the answer is simple. We have skin in the game. Together with Audrius, we invest in the deals we provide, and we share the risk with our clients. And this is the team that's making this. Together with Audrius, we have already 3 exits. Startup Wise Guys, our venture capital investor, have already invested before in one of my companies, and after I sold it, they were eager to work with me again. Together with advisors, we completed over 100 property developments and sold 15 million euros worth of it just in the last few years. We'll be opening around in few months to raise 500,000 euros in seed funding. This will help us to reach 25 million euros of investments on our platform during the next year. Thank you. My name is Gustas, and this was Evo Estate.
Yeah. All right. We have questions for Gustas and Evo Estate. Arvidas?
Hi, thank you. Could you tell a bit about, it's just another aggregator. Do you do anything extra for your clients? Curate something?
Yeah, very good question. So, first of all, we have a legal framework and capacity to enable them invest where they couldn't usually. This is the full list of the platforms we help, and half of them don't allow this. Second thing, we have very sophisticated risk scoring models driven by data, which help us to source deals and also rank the platforms we work with. And most importantly, investments is all about liquidity. And most of the platforms do not have secondary markets where people can have liquidity. Our secondary market has already proven to be very liquid because half of the transactions are executed within 24 hours.
Mike?
Hi. I think most of the time people involved in property are kind of evil because they're just, scourges on the face of the earth, taking housing away from poor people, stuff like that. So, given that, you think you're sort of democratizing access to investment in property, correct?
Yes.
This assumes that the property market goes up. When, of course, President Trump is elected and the bubble bursts and we enter a global recession later this year or the beginning of next year, the property markets might go down. What then?
This is a very good question as well.
I know.
This is exactly what makes Evo Estate unique. If you look at individual platforms where we aggregate their deals from, usually they have one single model, which is commonly just fixed interest loans with real estate collateral. So developments and everything which is not cash flow investment is much more likely to default in the recession, and this will default. You're right. But what we do, we provide access to rent investments. So what does it mean? That you invest in a property and you get a share of that ownership, which generates you income. A lot of it is also short-term rentals, which is done on Airbnb. Tourism almost doesn't drop during the recession, and people are looking for cheaper alternatives compared to hotels. So with Evo Estate, you can always have an edge. You can go for high-risk projects, but at the same time have a hedge with cash flow investments.
And how much does it take to invest? I mean, how much would I have to put into the platform as a base level?
Just 50 euros. Minimum investment is just 50 euros. We are keeping the entry barriers low because we believe that everyone should have an access to these high, really good deals.
Okay, fair enough. Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much, Gustas. Yeah. All right. Now I will kindly ask the jury to head out as promptly as possible to deliberate on the winner. But don't go anywhere or go anywhere. It is absolutely up to you. We're going to wait for about 15 minutes for them to decide. And in the meanwhile, we will have some special prizes to the startups attending. But before we do that, let me just share you a very short story from my experience with TechChill. I see that TechChill has probably quadrupled from 2015 when Eduria was standing on this stage and pitching. And that year, which was a nerve-wracking experience for the entire team, we were trying to balance a lot of things. We didn't have anything to figure out. And very luckily, we didn't have this competent a selection of final startups because we stand no chance against them. But 2015, we stood on this stage, we pitched, and we were lucky to take away the main prize in the pitching competition. Now, fast forward a few months, Anadurio closed an investment round with Imprimatur Capital, business angel investor from Australia, and that really changed us from this kind of a team of 5 trying to put something together into something meaningful. So that's victory 1 for TechChill, where we saw the visibility. Now, a few years later, in coming back to TechChill, after we had been fortunate to get a big funding prop from the European Commission, and that allowed us to go a lot further in product development, scale our work to hundreds of schools in Latvia and beyond. We met Arvidas from Praktika at TechChill again, where we networked, we had a chat essentially. I think that's what networking means, had a chat. He asked what we are doing and how are we. And I said, well, we'll be raising in a bit, and we agreed to stay in touch. Fast forward a year, and Praktika led our investment round that we announced last week. So that's strike 2 for TechChill. I'm scared to come here again. I don't know what new investment rounds were going to happen, but that's showing the things that can happen for the startups in the room. Can you raise your hand if you're with a startup right now? Very good. So use the opportunity while at TechChill to build the conversations with investors year after year, and just you'll see that can lead to a real outcome and investment outcome. So let me just personally say thanks to the TechChill team up front here, Ernest and Marie. So let's give it a big round for TechChill for organizing this. Now, while the jury is waiting, we have some very special prizes for the startups because this event has grown in scale every year, and we have more and more people willing to support the wonderful startups that we see here. So as a first presenter of a special prize, let me invite to the stage Katrina from Forbes Latvia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Katrina. I represent Forbes magazine in Latvia. And the main reason, actually, I wanted to support some startup, it's because this is actually my first business, too. And I understand how important is every support you can have. So I will be very short. And our price is 3,000 euros in advertising. You can use it in Latvia or wait for a few months. We will expand to Baltics. And I hope you don't try to use it in USA because it's just 2% discount or something like that. So our price goes to Woola. Maybe, yeah,
Woola,
she's coming.
yeah,
So while she's coming, I just wanted to say that actually the most important, I think, is to believe in the idea. So I want to say that we really believe in your idea.
Give it up for Woola. Thank you very much. We need a photo opportunity. Yep. Give it up for Woola and Forbes. Now the next presenter for the special prize is a wonderful organization. We benefit from their lovely help for the startup ecosystem. So as of last year, we've been part of AWS Head Start, which supports us with credits. And so I would like to give the stage to Julius from CloudVisor, AWS partner in the Baltics, to share their special prize for the startups. Give it up for AWS and CloudVisor.
Hi everyone, and first of all, I thought this could be a very good occasion to thank all the startups, all the 50 of them, that took part in the Founders Battle. I spent most of yesterday listening to all of their speeches, and they were really inspiring, and I think they really deserve a round of applause to every one of them. Yeah. Yeah. Good job, everyone. It's really, yeah, I'm looking forward to see all of you grow, but we have one big prize from AWS, the free services of cloud computing worth of $10,000, and it was really challenging to choose the one from the finalists who's the most worthy of that prize. And after listening to everybody, once again, we decided that this prize goes to Hugo Legal.
Legal!
Are you here?
Where do we have Hugo Legal? They may have needed to lie down after
Already
after
celebrating.
So Hugo Legal will receive the prize shortly. Give it up for Hugo Legal. And thank you. Yeah. Now, Latvia has been building its investment community over the last years, and it's great to see more and more people interested in early stage of investment, and that's been greatly supported by Latban, the angel investor network in Latvia. So I will ask Jānis from Latban to share their prize. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to see you all here, and expected that there will be overcrowded, but still some left, and I don't know what are you doing outside, because things are happening here. I'm representing 50 members of Latban, that is investors, angel investors. They earned their money and are ready to share the knowledge and their personal fundings to the projects they're interested in. And we are collecting a prize, or that's not the prize, the investment for 1, 2, or maybe 3 projects out of 50 founders battle. We did our own evaluation, and there are 9 projects that we are interested in, and most probably we will talk to them, and we will most probably will invest into those projects if we will agree on. But still, we have shortlist, of course, and there are 3 projects we are very, very interested in, and we will create most probably a syndicate investment, something like that, up to 100,000 euros. It's 2,000 euros per each investor, therefore maybe there'll be more if we will collect all the interest and the projects will go through our own evaluation. And yeah, let me disclose the names. You may come to the stage or not, it's your choice, but first one is Adact from... I can give just a handshake or a hug. All right, the second is already a very popular project. It's Hugo, legal. Now you may choose a handshake or hug. What do you choose? Hug. And the third one, that is in our shortlist. It's soft commitment, you know. We will not guarantee that investment, and we are lucky that this is not in top 5 of TechChill, and it is Veritasel. I have 1 hug and 3 handshakes left. So, thank you very much, and have a nice party, yes? Yeah.
That's exactly what we're going to have in a bit. Photo with the 3 shortlisted companies. Now, while you announce me, let me announce you. I think that's how it works.
Fine.
Now, let me announce that we have 2 very special people coming on stage. So in the startup community in Latvia, I'm known as the other Ernest, because there is only one Ernest. There's only one Ernest Stiles, and there's only one Maria. Give it up for the wonderful hosts. They say that when a person stands between 2 Ernests, they can wish. They can make a wish. So, Maria, what's your wish?
My wish would be to...
You cannot say it out loud. That's the secret.
I have so many wishes. I'm not sure which one to
I think
take.
just standing between the 2 Ernests.
But to be honest, I don't believe this Ernest thing, so I don't think it's actually working. So thanks.
Thank you, other Ernest, for taking care of the stage while I was away. He was good, right?
Thank you, Ernest. Let's give it up. Okay, so while the jury is still very much deciding who is going to take our final prize home with him, which is 10K, no strings attached, and I see Andris coming in, we have the final results. But before, let's quickly look back at what has happened during these 2 days. So, have you enjoyed? Have you enjoyed? That's good, because we have too. I'd like to share some statistics and some data that just came in. And this year seems to be the most successful so far for all the 9 TechChills. But we actually started to count since 2016 when I joined. Anyways, we have 2,300 attendees this year, which is a huge number, and we have surpassed the last year and the previous years as well. From these attendees, we have 40+ countries attending, and it just came up to 40% of internationals, which is a massive number for us. 40% of internationals are coming to Riga, Latvia, the Baltic. So let's give it up for that. Woo! We also have in the house 150 investors, 100 media representatives, 300 startups, and we just facilitated via talk only, and it's ongoing, 1,500 meetings, and we hope to see the results coming in soon as well. So, without any further ado, I'd like to ask on stage also...
You won't give word to me?
Oh, right, you are here as well.
I'm not scrolling Instagram here.
Aren't you? You were so quiet, I forgot that you exist. I'm just kidding. I know that you're all the time by my shoulder. That's fine. I'm kidding, guys.
So we actually are becoming more data-driven by every year. And this year we actually were counting stuff, how you move around the building.
Some
working
serious
with,
Chinese thing happening here.
Yeah, we work together with Toshiba, and thanks Armand Salvaters. Whoa! So we know that this place was all the time full, this stage. And on the second day, there were more women in the building. I wonder why.
Why was that so?
But the second day, we had like some double-digit percentage less people than yesterday. Let's call it collateral damage.
We all know what happened yesterday, right?
Wink, wink. So, are we ready to announce?
Yes, so we have Andris. Where is Andris? Oh no, we have those bags, goodie bags. Someone should bring them, Ernest, it is you. Thank you. Okay, these are the goodie bags for all the startups. So you guys gonna have to come on this stage as well. And
those are from Jameson, and those are just bags. There's nothing in it.
Okay, Andris, coming up.
Shall we have all the startups join with the back?
And I would also like to have all pitching startups right here on this stage in a minute. Less.
Come on up.
Come on up, all the startups in the house. Well, not all the startups. You sit tight. All the finalist startups. Yeah.
Big round of applause. All right. Okay. Can I say who's the winner?
Startup. I think we should. Let's hold the 10,000 tickets. Startup World Cup. Do you have your choice?
Yeah. They actually have a cup.
They have the same choice. So it's one winner.
Okay. Then we should get the money and put it in the cup.
Where's the money? Where's the money? Where's the bag? All right.
TechChill team, bring the bag.
So the jury had some work to do. It wasn't always easy. It wasn't entirely unanimous, but we had a discussion and we decided that there was one team that would make the biggest impact on the planet if they can take this business global, and that is Woola. Congratulations. Woo!